ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஈமான் வெங்கடநாதார்யம் கவிதார்க்கிக கேசரி சதாச்சாரியவர்யம் நீதத்தாம் ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கட நாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேதிகம். ஈரொன்றுதோ போல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழிகள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர ஓமளவும் வாழ்வு.
So here 2 points which I learnt by going through the Thiruvaimozhi 639 in note number 2 and again note number 1, Nachiyar Tirumozhi 11.3. என் கைவேளைகளை பெற்று குறை தீருபவராயின் அப்படியே என் கைவேளைகளை கவர்ந்து செல்லட்டும். So the beauty here is valai, bangle. Bangle is to be submitted to him. That is the idea of Andal, Godadevi. That valai is nothing but our one bangle is called ahankaraha, egoism, and the other one is that is what we call, the one is self-esteem. The other bangle is mamakaraha, possessiveness, self-possession, the attitude of self-possession. So both of them must be taken off so that we will reach his divine feet. That's what I understood by rereading the Nachiyar Tirumozhi. So once we ward off, once we give up these two feelings, namely, generally married ladies should not take off bangles. Generally, the toe jewel is absent for the widows, and also the what we call nose stud in those days. Today we cannot judge by this, and many other religions took advantage of our main traditions, namely the monthly periods of the ladies below 45, before menopause, and this kind of treatment to the widow was taken as the cue for converting from the Sanatana Dharma to other religions. They blamed us that we ill-treated the women. And the women will have, widows will have a tonsure of the head in those days. They will have wear only white sari and so on. Even if one is a young widow, it was very unfortunate that the tradition was followed. Yeah, yeah. The only Vadagalai is followed very strictly in those days, and it was a rather compulsion also, and removal of some jewels, not wearing flowers on the head. These were some identifications. But today, since women go for jobs, they don't want to be identified as widows. Yeah. After 10 days. And the most important point that generally women forget is they can have a tilak on their forehead. There is no harm in having tilak on the forehead. In those days, even Vaishnavites will have both Thiruman and Srichurnam. Srichurnam in the vertical form and Thiruman in the what you call between the brows. They will have a small wearing of the small mark on the forehead by Thiruman. It will be connecting the brows. All, of course, all people, no exception. Everybody can wear that kind of Srichurnam and Thiruman. Now, so here we are talking about so here, in the second one, Thiruvaimozhi, once we say Ennappan, there is no tangle between the children and the parents. That's the meaning of this Ennappan. Meaning that they don't fight with each other at any time, at any point of time in their life. Children do not antagonize the parents. Parents do not hate children. So that is the meaning of, beautiful meaning of Ennappan. And then Ihulai. Ihulai is a very new word for me in Tamil. It is in maybe Sangam Tamil, chaste Tamil. We have Chemmori, we call it in Tamil. Ihulai meaning Toriyai. So already we saw that there is no gender for the Lord. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. So instead of sakha, you can say sakhi here. So ihulai meaning Toriyai. Therefore, as a mother, Lord Almighty becomes father, mother, ennai petravalai, then ihulai, Toriyai. Tori in Tamil means Shevilittai or Valarputtai, mother who rears the children, who brings up the children. And again, ennai petravalai, normally, a mother suffers a lot for the during pregnancy, and therefore we say nondu petravala. In Tamil, we have the word nondu petravala. That means she doesn't mind her suffering, that is physical suffering, and she is happy that she is going to deliver a baby. And again, there is no suspense in foreign countries. Only here we have suspense whether it is a boy or girl. But then the first pregnancy itself is considered a boon or blessing, and because the scripture says, "Prajaya manushya purnaha." A man becomes only complete only with the children, in the sense So children in turn should make the parents happy. Parents should in turn make the children happy. So we have, of course, the value attached to the father, Ponnappan, Maniyappan, Muttappan, are all costly gems are compared to the father, parent. Then again, the reference is to Pilliyappan, where even the ramparts, the walls of the temple around the temple are made up of gold. And of course, Almighty has no parallel, as already we explained. And then he was so generous that he offered himself. Tandanan Tanadal Nirale. Now, the mother's affection is also showered on the children by the father. So when mother passes away, unfortunately, in the young age, father takes care of the children. And therefore, father makes the children forget the mother, in the sense they are not made to remember the mother and feel the separation from the mother. And that's the beauty of Almighty. The Lord is always bountiful in grace. So this is what we saw. So this is something. I mean, this is where we have to go a little deep into the meaning of the Pasurams, Divya Prabandha Pasurams. We will go to the next page. So 51. We already saw that Ottar Mikkari Ilayaya Mamaya, Tannappar Illappan, that was the last line. You have nobody equal, nobody above, that is greater than Almighty. That is note number 1. You will have the full verse after the page, after the text of the page. So, Sama Adhika Daridrana Irukku. This is the humorous way of saying he is also a poor fellow. Almighty is also a poor person. We say the word poor in a sympathetic way. A poor guy. He is a poor guy because he has poverty. What poverty? He has nobody equal to him. The poverty of no equals. And also nobody is above him, nobody is greater than him. Therefore, in that way, he is poor. Daridraha. Sama adhika daridraha. Now, aprakritamai. Now, how is the original nature of the Lord? Whether it is Archavatara in the world here or Antaryami in our mind or Vibhava taking all kinds of incarnations, Krama, Krishna and so on. Again, in Vyuha Rupa, it is very easily understood, as well as the Paramapada Natha Rupa, the Vaikuntha. He is always supernatural, aprakritamai. So that means he has no connection with all bad things in this world. That's me. So no negativity in his figure. So aprakritamai. And again, we have another word equaling the word aprakritam. We call it Shuddha Sattvamai. That is purity incarnate, or Sattva, we cannot even translate into any other language. We can say good quality incarnate. So there is no rajas or tamas. There are no bad qualities. There are no negative qualities. Again, we have another equivalent for this. Heya Pratyanikaha. Heya Pratyanikaha. Unavoidable bad qualities are not possessed by the Lord. Again, we have another big Sanskrit expression. So, Pancha Upanishad Pratipadya Shuddha Sattva Pancha Shaktimayamai. So, we have got the word Pancha here. Pancha Upanishad. There must be important Upanishads among generally 10 Upanishads are considered very important. Out of 112 to 18, 118. So Panchopanishad, we must give the names here and find out. Then Pratipad, that is not given notes here. Pratipadya. So Upanishad always adores, Upanishads always adore the Lord. Pratipadya meaning explaining, but we say adore. Shuddha Sattva, I told you just the Aprakritamaya, the basic good quality of purity. And then Pancha Shakti Maya. So there are 5 Shaktis, 5 powers. Again, this must be explained. Then we have another Pancha, Astra, Bhushana, Rupa, Vichitra, Tattva, Ashrema. So Astra, when we take it missile, Astra is missile. So there are 5, generally 5. Bhushana, they become ornaments. Or you can separately take ornaments like Kastuba, Srivatsa, Vaijayantimala, and so on. So Astra Bhushana. Rupa is original nature. Then Vichitra, it's wonderful. Tattva, what we call the principle, as we say, but we understand that the individual soul is also the inner soul of the Lord, Supreme Soul, and therefore Tattvam is, there are many similarities between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. And again, the individual soul should understand that he is inferior to the Supreme Soul. That is called the Tattva. Then we can depend on them. We can depend on the Archavatara, especially Archavatara, because we are able to see it in flesh and blood, black and white. So Ashrayamana. Ashraya is resort, shelter. So we can rely upon, we can depend upon. The Lord is dependable, reliable. So that is what we call here Divya Mangala Vigraha. Now again, these 5 are mentioned here. Astra 1, Bhushana 2, Rupa 3, Tattva 4, Ashraya 5. So this is, he is called number 5. His number is 5. Favorite number is 5. Vichitra meaning wonderful. So you can add this Vichitra to every one of these 5. Vichitra Astra. The missile that he has works in 2 ways. It is favorable to the devotees and it is inimical toward the devotees' enemies. So Astra, either Sudarshan Alvar, Chakrat Alvar, or Panchajanyam, or the sword, Nandakam, the Sharngam, the bow, and the Khadgam. Khadgam is the sword, and then Nandakam is the sword. Kaumodaki, the Gada, maze. All these 5 work differently in different situations. That is called Vichitra. A weapon is to only destroy, but a weapon saves. That is the Vichitra of Astra. In the same way, everything can be connected with what we call Vichitra. Vichitra Bhushanam. Now, there was one demon trying to kill Arjuna. I forget the name of the Asura demon. And he had a weapon called Bhallaha, Bhalla. And when he threw the weapon on Arjuna, Lord Krishna bore it on his chest and it became Vaijayanti Mala. Balla became Vaijayantimala. The weapon, it's a what we call porcupine-like weapon. Spikes all over the frame of the weapon. Spikes, the sharp spikes, thorn-like spikes. It's called it's a circular weapon. Ball. It's a sphere, and it has got a lot of spikes over every point there. And therefore, that became Vaijayantimala. The weapon became the Bhushanam. The Bhushanam becomes also a weapon. Of course, that is not there. So Vichitra. So Tattva is also Vichitra. The individual soul is similar to Supreme Soul. At the same time, it is different. It is similar and dissimilar. It is same and different at a time. Then Ashraya also, the shelter, the what you call the succor, the goal, the destination, is also different in the sense we have Muktatma, the released souls. The released souls also, and then we surrender to the preceptor in this world, and the preceptor himself is our shelter. The Acharya Devo Bhava or Acharya Nishtha, we say. In Andavan Sampradaya, we call it Acharya Nishtha, Ukti Nishtha, Swanishta. So each Sharanagati is different. So, and we can always rely upon any form of the Lord, either Archa or Antaryami or and so on. So at the time of when we have had we lived during the incarnation, we can take that incarnation as our. Even today we say Krishna, Lord Krishna is the most favorite deity. So Vibhava Avatara is also Ashraya. So everything is Vichitra. Now Divya Mangala Vigraha Vishesha Tale. So Divya divine Mangala auspicious Vigraha, the figure, Vishesha Tale, because of the speciality, extraordinary quality. So Vishishtanai Kondu. So Vishishtaha means endowed with, in the sense, so he has been praised by 5 Upanishads. Then he is possessing weapons, ornaments, the divine figure, the principle, and he is the shelter. So everything belongs to him. And therefore, so Vishishtana Kondu. That meaning he is an adjective. All are adjectives to him. So Paravyuhadi Panchaprakarna is. That's what we understood earlier. So Pararupam, namely Vasudeva in Vaikuntham. Then Vyuha, Sankarshana, Niruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. Then Vibhava, again Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Rama, Krishna, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, Balarama, and Kalki. And these are all Vibhavas. And then Antaryami, the 4th one, namely in our minds, for the forms in our mind. And lastly, Archavatara, the temple figure. So what is that Pararupam? We are now talking about Pararupam. Before that, we go to the note number 1. So A, தன்னை ஒத்தாரும் மிக்காரும் இல்லாதவன் பிரகிருதி சம்பந்தமற்ற B, திருவாயுதங்களாகவும் திருவாபரணங்களாகவும் உள்ள the weapons are ornaments are weapons. And again the Lord beautifies the ornaments and beautifies the weapons, not the other way. Then பெருமையுடையவனாய், we say Vishishtanai, meaning பெருமையுடையவனாய். Then you have E, ஐவகையுடையவன், namely Para, Vyuha, Vibhava, Antaryami, Archa. So we have this was Thiruvaimazhi 232. He is very wonderful. Vichitraha. Ottare Mikkare Ilayaya. Ma Maya. Ma Maya is a very magical person, highly magical person. What he did in Mahabharata are examples for his wonderful adventures. In the case of Ramavatara also, as a man, ordinary man like us, he obeyed the parents. That itself is now an wonder now today. The children obeying parents. And again, so what we call adhering to the advice of the elderly people. Vishwamitra was a irate sage. He's a ill-tempered, short-tempered sage. And Rama managed him. He took him as his teacher. He learnt Bala and Atibala from him. And therefore, everywhere he was soft-natured. And many wonders happened in his life, even as an ordinary human being. So he gave Jatayu moksham. And as an ordinary human being, he cannot afford to do that. So he gave emancipation to Jatayu, a bird. He had a universal brotherhood attitude. The tribal, namely Guha, the monkey Sugriva, the demon Vibhishna, and so on. So he was wonderfully moving socially moving with all people, irrespective of their birth and in any form of living being. Then he also sent Shabari, an old lady, to her favorite world, namely Guru Loka, Acharya Loka. He went to the world of her preceptor only, and so on. So many wonderful happenings marked the incarnation of Rama. And then, as usual, we understand in all other incarnations, especially Narasimha, it was a momentous and momentary incarnation, lasting for a few hours, if not a few minutes. As Narasimha, we understood. And then Vamana, a dwarf becoming the Vishwarupam as Trivikrama. So these are all some wonderful things. Therefore, Ma Maya. So as a child, Krishna made a lot of pranks and made everybody get surprised over his actions. So opening the mouth to the mother Yashoda with the mud, with the sand, he made her realize that he is the Lord, and so on. So now, ஒத்தாய பொருட்கும் உயிராய், ஒத்தாய் எப்பொருட்கும் உயிராய். He became inner soul for every object in this world. Then என்னை பெற்ற அத்தாயாய் தந்தையாய். Same concept. He is the mother, he is the father. Creation of the living beings little different from giving birth to child as a mother. But whereas he shows affection towards us as a mother who gave birth to the child after undergoing the sufferings, physical sufferings. For example, Kausalya gave birth to Rama after 12 months of pregnancy, like what we call an elephant's pregnancy. And that is also there. And again, so attayai, tandayai. Then Ariyadana Arivittar. So our mind is deluded by ignorance, and he made us realize that we must practice Jnana Yoga. So Ariyadana Arivitha. So he is giving us, now at present he is giving us the spiritual knowledge. Then Atta here Acharya. So, O preceptor, Ni Shaidana Adiyan Adiyan. All the benefits that you extended to us, I don't completely understand. I don't even now I don't realize that you have blessed me so much that நீ எனக்கு ஆச்சாரியனாகவும் நின்று நீ எனக்கு செய்த உதவிகள் எண்ண முடியாதனவாதலின் அவற்றை அறியவல்லேன். I don't know the limit of your affection. I don't know how much help you extended to us. And so on. So we have next page reference. So we'll go back to the top of the page here. Yes. Pararupamavan. So what is the highest form? Pararupam. Pararupam means Rupam's form. Pararupam, highest form. Rupam in Sanskrit also means handsomeness, beauty. When we refer to a male, we say handsome. So Pararupam. How is he? Nityamai. He is always permanent. This is what other religions also, other sampradayas take this word. So Nityamai. They say all other creations are anityam, unreal. So he is the only reality, Nityamai. He is permanently existent. Then Eka Rupamai. So his form is only one. And again, Nityarukum, Muktarukum, Sevyamai. For the three people called Nityas, namely Garuda, Vishaksena, and Adishesha, he is worshipable. He is worshipable, meaning the service can be done by these three, Garuda, Adishesha, and Vishaksena. Muktarukum, there are souls from this world gone back to the Vaikuntham as released souls, realized souls, who have no birth and death cycle further. So Muktarukum, they are released souls. So they also can worship the Pararupam in Vaikuntham. The highest form is easily accessible to these two categories, namely Garuda, Vishaksena, and Adishesha, plus the released souls. So then you have people, 33 crores of gods in heaven. Sevyamai Kurumi, they come together. They are in a single group. Both Nityas, the three Nityas and the other released souls come together. Devar Kurangal Kaithura. They also join with the gods also. So the 33 crores of gods led by Indra also join the group. So Kaithura, they all salute him. And obviously, we say in Tamil, Paranjudar. Paranjudar Shodhi, Alvar's words. He is the highest form of light. He is effulgence incarnate. He is brightness embodiment. So Shodhi Vellattinulle, all bright. The whole Vaikuntham is always bright. Shodhi Vellattinulle, it's a flood of light, floodlight. Shodhi Vellattinulle, Ezhuvador Uru. He comes up, he shows up, and Uru, the form, the divine form, shows himself up from the Jyoti, from the effulgence, from the brightness, from the light. And then we all those three groups, namely, now they are in one group. Nitya, namely Adishesha, Vishwaksena, and Garuda. The kite, the serpent snake, serpent couch, and all the chief of security staff, and plus the released souls, plus the gods. They are all now accessible to, Lord is accessible to all these three in a group. That itself shows the broad-mindedness, the generosity of the Lord. Whereas in case of Krishna Avatara, in one of the situations, he hid himself from the view of the cowherders and felt how much love they show to him. So it was like a test, and they suffered a lot, and they also felt very long suffering after Lord Krishna left the cow pen. After age 16, he, of course, did not return to the Gokulam, giving them the pleasure of his child's, what do you call, childish actions and childlike actions. So we have the next page continuing. So then we can come back to note number 2. So again, Parankusha Nayaki. Okay, let us have Kaliya Mikkador Kadalan Ivan Endru Annai Kanakudan Vazhuvil Kirthi Tirukkurungudi Nambiயை நான் கண்டபின் குழுமித் தேவர் குழாங்கள் கைதொழ சோதி வெள்ளத்தினுள்ளே எழுவதோர் உரு என் நெஞ்சுள் எழுமார்க்கும் அறிவரிதே. என் நெஞ்சுள் எழும் ஆர்க்கும் அறிவரிதே. Our mind has the vision of the Lord in the form of light, but all of us are not fortunate to identify the light. Arkum arivaride. Very rarely people identify the light. Parankusha Nayaki Kurhundra. No, Nammalvar is in times of separation from the Lord. So in Thiruvalmazhi 5:5-10, he says, என் தாய் தன் பெண்ணாகி எனக்கு எம்பெருமானது பிரிவு வந்தால் நாளாக அவனிடம் காதல் எனக்கு குறையட்டும் என்று அவனை நான் நினைக்க கூட இடமில்லாமல் செய்கிறாள். This is your imagination that Parankusha feels as though a daughter of a mother. The mother becomes angry with the Lord because the mother feels that the daughter is not favored by the Lord. As a son-in-law, the Almighty does not give rather interview to the daughter. The role of mother and daughter are taken by Nammalvar as Parankusha Nayika. And therefore, the mother is rather what we call feigned quarrel only, feigned anger. It's a false anger. In both cases, the daughter loves the Lord, the mother loves the son-in-law. In the sense, the son-in-law should show more affection towards the daughter. That's what her complaint is. The mother prevents the daughter from thinking about the Lord. And therefore, she feels that her love should diminish. And therefore, but whereas the daughter says, no, as Parankusha Nayika, என் தாய் எவ்வளவு தடுத்தால் என்ன. Okay, yes, let's instead of reducing the love, that was the aim of the mother, the girl loves the Almighty more and more. This is what we call a presentation of a drama, a play, where one takes the two roles, double action. So, என் தாய் எவ்வளவு தடுத்தால் என்ன? Now, the mother and the daughter are quarreling with each other. Even if she stops me from seeing the Lord, பெரும்புகழான திருக்குறுங்குடி நம்பியை நான் கண்டபின் என் நிலையே வேறு. So, Tirukkurungudi is a native place of Nammalvar, and therefore Tirukkurungudi Nambi is Nambi meaning an important person. So very great person. So Perumbugalana, so because he is all famous, all popular. So non-condemning after darshanam, after the seva of Nammalvar of this Tirukkurungudi Nambi, then en nilaye veru. So my intention is different. After a lot of avoiding fame, Tirukkurungudi, radiant from a flooding effulgence. That's what we say. En nilaye veru, that means I become different. I don't obey my mother. I disobey my mother. I transgress the rule of my mother. Nityarum muktarum kuttam kuttamai vandu anubhavika. That's what we saw in the meaning. So, Shodhi Vellathtinulle miga prakashikindra vilakshanamana meaning very different. Nambiyin Tirumeni, the great man's divine figure, en ullathinull eppozhudum prakashikindrathu. It is always bright in my heart. அது வேறு ஒருவருக்கும் அறிய முடியாததாய். Others cannot understand my inner soul, who is the brightest in my heart. ஆர்க்கும் அறிவரதே. My love knows no bounds toward the Lord. My affection is great toward the Lord. And she takes the woman's role. She takes the female gender role, so that he takes the female gender role, so that the love will be natural. Love will be natural. So let us go to the page 52. So என்றும் ஆதியன் சோதி உரு என்று சொல்லுகிறபடியே வானுயர் இன்பம் மன்னி வீற்றிருந்த ரூபம். So what is this Pararupam? We have been saying, now what is this Pararupam? What is this highest form? So Adi An Shodhi Uru. Uru, the Vigraham, the frame, Shodhi light, Am Shodhi, beautiful light, Adi is the first light. There is no one who existed before the Lord. He has no beginning and no end also. So Adi and Jodi Uru. That also has got a param. One has a quote there. Vanuyar inbam. This pleasure is not measurable. Van becomes what we call the sky, in the sense Vaikuntham. So Uyar inbam, the highest pleasure. Manni vitrunda rupam. Manni meaning permanently offering. So sitting, manni. Mari malai muranjil, manni kidandurangu. Wantonly waiting for the devotee to come and enjoy. So manni vitrunda rupam. Vitrunda, generally we say Paramavadanada is in a sitting posture. So rupam's beauty, figure. So manni vitrunda rupam. So this is called Pararupam. And Pararupam cannot be theoretically explained. Practical feeling in the mind is very important. Then we go to the next rupam, Vyuhangalana. So if Pararupam adiyaha, based on this highest form, பூர்வத்திற்கு உத்தரோத்தரம் காரியமாக கொண்டு பிரிந்து முன்னை வண்ணம் பாலின் வண்ணம் பாலின் நீர்மை and so on. So you have பூர்வத்திற்கு, that is in 4 forms. Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. Uttarottaram karyamaha kondu. We will have explanation of this. So how the four forms in Vyuha are connected with each other. So one is Karanam, the other is Karyam. One is the cause and the other is the effect. So Pirindu, then the Pararupam divides itself into four, and the names are given. And one is responsible for creation, the other one is sustenance, the other one is what we call dissolution. These three. Of course, Vasudeva is common to all. Now, how is the Lord? Munnai Vannam, Palin Vannam. The color of the Lord, the what we call the shade of the Lord, is as usual Paravasudeva Rupam, Munnai Vannam. Now you understand it is Palin Vannam because these Vyuha Rupa are from the Milky Ocean. So Palin Vannam, the whole milk, whole milk sea is white in color. And also all the forms, four forms are white in color. Palin Vannam. Again, Palin Neermai. Neermai is what we call accessibility without any differentiation of status. That is called Neermai. We call it in Sanskrit Saushilyam. Saushilyam. Now, one can say that the milk doesn't give up its sweetness, natural sweetness. Whoever drinks it, the sweetness will be understood by the drinker. And therefore, Palin Neermai. So also, Lord is impartial to all. Lord is accessible to all. Lord doesn't differentiate between statuses among the living beings. These are all the words here. Now we take Thiruvaimozhi 355. சாது சனத்தை நலியும் கஞ்சனை சாதிப்பதற்கு ஆதியஞ்சோதி உருவை அங்கு வைத்து இங்கு பிறந்த வேத முதல்வனை பாடி வீதிகள் தோறும் துள்ளாதார் ஓதி உணர்ந்தவர் முன்னா என் சவித்தார் மனுஷரே. All Upanishads, we saw that already. Panchopanishad. Of course, we are not talking restricting to 5. So all scriptures adore the Lord. எல்லா வேதாந்தங்களாலும் சர்வேஸ்வரனாக புகழப்பெற்று. All scriptural parts, namely, especially final parts called Jnana Kandam, which contains Upanishads. So they always praise the Lord as the highest leader, Sarveshwarana. புகழப்பெற்ற எம்பெருமான். He does not tolerate people like Kamsa, wicked Kamsa, who was troubling people. So சாதுக்களை ஹிம்சிக்கும் கம்சன் முதலியவர்களை. He did not he ill-treated all innocent people also. He treated very bad, in bad way, all the what we call flawless people. Those are no defects. They are very, very innocent people. So innocent people were punished by him, especially his own sister Devaki and sister's husband Vasudeva. And therefore Sadhu Sanatya, and he also even imprisoned his own father, Ugrasena. So no filial affection was there. Kanjanai Sadipadak, in order to kill him, in order to, of course, punish him. While Lord Almighty incarnates on the earth, say as Krishna, His Pararupa is always intact there. It doesn't come out. So Adi and Jodi Uruvai Angu Vaitu. The form, the highest form in Pararupam, Vaikuntham, is already there. And he takes one more role, that's all. He comes to the earth, Avatarati. So he comes down to the earth as Krishna or Rama. And here Krishna, so he wanted to kill the wicked. So, Vinashaya cha dushkritam. Then முதலில் ஒழிப்பதற்காக அவதாரங்களுக்கு காரணமாய், although it is his sport that he created all these wicked people also. So அவதாரங்களுக்கு காரணமாய் அழகியதாய், that's what we call சோதி உரு, பரமபதத்தில் உள்ள சோதி உருவை போலே இங்கும் வந்து அவதரித்து நிற்கும் பெருமையை பாடி. So இங்கும் வந்து, so here you can say திருக்குறுங்குடி நம்பியை, as Archavataara you can say Archavataara. And Ingo otherwise Vibhavavatara in those yugas, Dwapara, Treta and so on. So Ingum Manda Avatarithinirkum Perumayai Paadi. So we have to adore him, we have to sing on him. So Vedigal Thorum Tulladar. So we must be very happy, feeling the joy of singing him in every street. Vedigal Thorum. And Tulladar, we must jump in ecstasy. Run in eclat, ECLAT. நன்கு கற்று ஞானியர்களாய் உள்ளவர் முன்பு எதை சொல்லி ஜபிப்பார்? If we don't do that, our knowledge is incomplete. Even when we have studied books, learned the spiritual knowledge from preceptors, we do not. That means that those who do not enjoy this happiness will not understand the sweetness of the names. முன்பு எதை சொல்லி ஜபிப்பார், என் சவிப்பார். They are all not even human. They are not at all human beings. அவர்கள் மனிதரே அல்ல. It's a negative statement. So we have people who sing his praise on the streets also. Of course, joining, meaning taking the cooperation of all other people around us. Then when we sing his names, we will understand the happiness of the Vyuha Rupa. This is only what we call it, reminding ourselves the greatness of the Lord, and lest we should forget him any moment. That's the purpose of our going through such books. And Nama Sankirtanam is meant for this Kali Yuga. And today it so happened that there is an arrangement of Rama Nama Sankirtanam from morning 9:30 to 12:30 today in Srirangam near Sri Tyagaraja Rama temple. There is a temple of Rama and plus Tyagaraja also. Tyagaraja idol is also there. Tyagaraja Bhagavat. And week-long celebration will continue. இங்கே கொடியாலம் கல்யாண மண்டபம்.
கொடியாலம் இல்லையா? கொடியாலம் கல்யாண மண்டபம். அது கல்யாண மண்டபம். ஓகே.
கொடியாலம் கல்யாணம். It is every year normally done with a lot of beautiful concerts by great musicians. When Tiruvayar celebrates Tyagaraja Utsavam, here also we have Tyagaraja Utsavam. The festival is celebrated. Yeah. And all those stalwarts in music, those who visit Tiruvayar, in turn come here and give their concert here. Very, very great musicians and young musicians are encouraged. We have very beautiful, what we call, enjoyment of, as Rajagopalan Swami knows, The spirit of enjoyment is more here, rather than in the crowd there in Tiruviyar.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்கிய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத் வெங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம் கவிதார்க்கிகசிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேசாய வேதாந்த குரவே நம வதிர்பதிரோபங்க பஞ்சானன பராக்கிரமா ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதாரிய சிரம் விஜயதா புவி சீரொன்றுதோப்பம் திருவேங்கடமுடைய பரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழி ஒரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர கோமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம்.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः.
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ